Hello everyone and welcome to another CIDL Book Buzz. I'm Miss Jamie and you might notice that I'm wearing a special superhero cape today. That's partially because I love superheroes and partially because the book that I'm going to talk to you about is a superhero story. So our book today is called Ikenga and it's written by Nnedi Okorafor. And this book kind of reminds me of a mix between the Hulk and Batman. And the main character in this book, Nnedi, is not your average hero. He's only 12 years old and his dad just died. Now, as you might imagine, the funeral is very sad, but it's also kind of frightening. You see, Nnedi's dad was the chief of police in his city, and he devoted his life to fighting crime. But then he was shot. And Nnedi's dad had kind of a nemesis called the Chief of Chiefs, who was a criminal lord in his city. And Nnedi thinks the Chief of Chiefs, or one of his minions, shot his dad. So Nnedi is shocked and dismayed when the Chief of Chiefs shows up at his dad's funeral. He is so scared that he wets himself and so angry that he's ready to punch the Chief of Chiefs in the face. But the Chief of Chiefs just comes, pays his respects, hands Nnedi's mother an envelope full of money, and then leaves. The next day, Nnedi notices that some items are missing from his house, and he knows that one of the Chief of Chiefs' minions probably stole it. Nnedi is fearful. He wonders how he will ever be able to protect himself and his mother in this city that's so corrupt without his father there. At the same time, he's angry, and he vows that the criminals would not get away with it. 1 year later, at Nnedi's father's memorial service, Nnedi sees a shadow figure and runs after it. As he gets closer, he realizes that it's his dad, or at least a spirit version of him. Nnedi's dad asks him if he wants to protect his mother and his city, which of course Nnedi does. Nnedi's dad gives him a figure called an Ikenga. He says that Ikenga means place of strength and that it will guide Nnedi if he calms himself and focuses. When Nnedi takes the Ikenga in his hand, he turns black as the night. His body grows into a tall, full-grown man. His voice also changes and deepens. Suddenly, he has impossible strength and the ability to run far distances and some other powers as well. Nnedi tries to use his powers for good, but when he's the other man, he feels rage like never before, and people end up getting hurt. Is Nnedi really a hero, or will his rage turn him into one of the villains? This book was so good. I'm on a committee of librarians from across Michigan who select the top 10 books that were published in the last year, and this book was one of them. Now, just like in a superhero movie, every villain that Nnedi faces is stronger than the last. This book also kept me guessing the entire time about who really murdered Nnedi's father. This is one that you will definitely have trouble putting down. I hope you'll read it. So that was Ikenga by Nnedi Okorafor. That's all I had for you today. Bye. See you next time.